welcome to Are We Podcasting Yet? The podcast that Alan and I like to do sometimes when we try and figure out if we're podcasting. And today on the show, we have YAASHWIN Sarawanan.
Hello.
That's right.
Thanks for having me, guys. Thanks for having me.
Good to have you here. It's been a long time, man.
Now, for those of you who may not have seen Asia's Got Talent, YAASHWIN Sarawanan is, I like to say, a colleague, but also a friend of ours. He was the runner-up on season 3 of Asia's Got Talent, and YAASHWIN was known as the Huma Calculator.
Good to see. How are you guys doing?
Oh, doing good. I'm in Singapore. Alan is in Los Angeles.
That's right.
Nice. So how is it in Singapore and Los Angeles?
Singapore's good. I mean, obviously, you've got a lot of the COVID-19 measures that are going on, so you got to wear masks when you go out of the apartment, and can't really have more than groups of 5 hanging out. But, you know, bars and restaurants are bumping, and people are living, and people are starting to work and shoot stuff again, so things are looking pretty good here.
LA is not at all anyway like it is in Singapore. Everything is closing down even more so than it has before, because we don't follow regulations.
So what's going on there? Like, what are the big new changes there now?
Within a couple of days of a potential shelter-at-home order for the entire state, like a statewide shelter-in-place, which is like the first time it's happened since the very beginning of COVID, which is just everyone in California should stay at home unless essential
right, but like
needs need to be met.
But like, you won't get like a ticket or something if you're outside, though.
Well, that's the problem, is that no one's regulating it. Like, I mean, I don't know what they planned on doing to do it, but okay, YAASHWIN, what is it like in Malaysia? What's it like where you are right now, man?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a relief, but it's a disappointment at the same time, because this is what happened basically as a whole. Now, the cases did spike like crazy at first.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just going up and up and up. And then everything started to recover. They were able to trace all the patients, whoever had the disease and the close contacts. So the active cases, the patients with the virus, actually went down from more than 10,000 all the way down to like, we had only like 60 or 70, basically saying our recovery case was almost 100%. It was like, 97, 98%. But then few incidents happened recently, just 2 or 3 months ago, and the cases spiked again. So we're like technically back to square one again.
Mm-hmm.
So, we went through the whole quarantine, staying at home for like 2 or 3 months. Like, I didn't go to school for like 3 months. It was just online classes, 3 months. And then we went back to school for 2 months, and now we're back home again for the next 2 months. So, it's just going up and down at this moment.
You bring up I want to ask a really quick question, man, because you're the first person who we've had on this podcast who is a student right now dealing with it. When you say online classes, like, I think a lot of young adults, or not so young adults like us, who aren't even close to children who are in school right now, but have to learn from home. What is that like? Like, what do you have, like, you see your teacher on a Zoom call like this? Is this like school for you?
Yeah, we used to use. We used to. I mean, this is not school at all. This is what I want, but I'm not getting this. I'm not getting this from school. Now,
hey, we hope to educate you a little bit as well.
Thanks. I'm happy to receive the education from you, if it is education. But yeah, anyways. So I mean, we were changing platform from Zoom to Microsoft, but I mean, technically it's the same online classes. Some people like it. Honestly, most of the people in my class love the online classes because of the convenience, You get to sleep in at least an hour late. You get an additional hour of sleep. You don't need to travel to school. Yeah. All you do is just be at home. But for someone like me, who has always loved going to school, just for the sake of communicating and, being face-to-face with people. So putting someone like me in an online class for like 3 months straight is like total damage to mental health and everything else. I mean, like, you can't really interact. And sometimes, what really bugs you is that, like, small things like, when you have internet connection issues, or when you have your microphone issues, and you're trying to call your teacher like, hello, but you don't get a response at all. That bugs me. And it bugs a lot of us. So so basically the worst part is that you don't get to interact in real life, and that sucks.
Hey, those vaccines are coming.
I mean, we've been doing it for 5 months now. I mean, I can't imagine 5 months staring at the screen, for 6 hours a day for lessons, we might as well just continue, right?
Something that I guess everybody's kind of got to deal with right now in a lot of places. And I imagine that for somebody as sociable as yourself, it can be a little bit difficult having to be in front of the computer all the time.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Really.
Let's live in the past for a little bit, and let's kind of talk about
Definitely. Let's you know how people say people say we shouldn't be going to the past.
Yeah,
people
the
say
good
we
old
should
days, man.
be going to the past, but you know what? For this situation, I really want to go back to the past. People are like, move forward. So for now, you know what? Let's just not go forward. Let's go backward for a while.
YAASHWIN, tell us a little bit about kind of your experience on Asia's Got Talent.
You're making me very emotional. So, what would I say? The experience is priceless. That's the only word that I can use to describe the whole thing as one. It's priceless. I cannot get it anywhere else. Because, who would have thought that my whole student life, from I was 7 up till I was 14, before I auditioned, all I did was just staring at papers and doing the actual numbers on the papers and just going for competitions. It's always been just, writing on papers and practicing and so on. But I always knew that I had to make it worth it, because I've been doing it for 7 years. And at the one point, I felt like it's not bringing me anywhere. I'm like,
Right.
I'm still in one place. I'm not moving forward. I'm just in one spot. There's no progress. But I always knew I wouldn't say that I have the best level of communication, but I know that I want to connect to people, real people, that is. So I want to connect to people. And the disadvantage for me, what I thought was a disadvantage was the fact that I did numbers. And generally numbers are boring. When you think about talent, you think about singing, you think about dancing, you think about magic. And I don't think anyone no one will think of numbers as a form of entertainment, right? But it was a dream to join the show since I was like 10, 11, ever since the first season, basically. Ever since the first season, I was like, I have to do this. I have no idea how, but I want to do it. Season 2 passed by, I didn't. And then season 3 came and I told myself, you know what, I'm just going to do it. I thought that my journey would end at the judges' audition itself,
Right.
I thought my journey would just end there. I thought, you know what, I'm done. I'm at the judges' audition. I'm satisfied. I did it. Thank you very much. But to my surprise, I have no idea how till today I made it until the grand finals and became the runner-up of a show I dreamed watching of many years. So, and that is why I keep saying the experience is priceless.
Because of the charisma, you got so many votes out there.
I'm thankful, exactly, because because you know how the show is pre-recorded, right? And it's not live. It's, we do the show first and then it's aired. So between the gap before the show airs,
until the live show.
The grand finals, but before that, you have that gap between the show episode airs, and you're thinking to yourself, how will people react to what you're doing? You're just thinking for all that time, what would people say? Will it be good? Will it be bad? Will people hate it, love it? So I had expected something really mild. I was just like, okay, people are going to appreciate I do this. That's it. But it went to a whole new different level. I got to meet so many new people, do so many new things, be exposed to so many new platforms.
What are some of the opportunities that have come your way after the show?
The basic things that came along with the support were, of course, interviews by the media, radio stations. Never have I been to that many radio stations in my life. Like, literally, I was like, wow, this is nice. Interviews, radio stations, and then it wasn't a corporate, actually it was an educational event, and that was my first gig, basically, because I never knew I could do such things with what I'm doing. So as time went on, I realized people really started to accept it as a form of entertainment, because like you guys know, I do not just do numbers, but I make it more interesting through jokes and
you're a fun guy.
Remember both. And remembering the times where I locked you up in the cage, this is what I try to do so that people don't fall asleep. People don't think it's boring. So progress. People started to accept it as a form of entertainment. And then earlier this year, I did another reality, the same format, a talent show too, but a local one. And I'm going to talk about that show. a bit because
Please.
there's something really something really interesting about the whole
Wait,
thing. Actually, it's
what show is it? Yashwin, tell us the title. What show is it?
I mean, it's a local show. It's called Cheria
Okay.
Megastar, basically. Megastar.
Megastar. Okay.
Right?
Megastar. That's
Yeah,
you, man. You are the mega. Perfect.
Thank you. So nice of you. So all this while, the show's format was that it's actually a singing competition and a dancing competition. So I remember very vividly. It was a Friday, and I got a message from one of the crew members asking me to join the show, and that was just me confused. I was like, "You guys, I think you guys got it wrong. I'm not a singer. I'm not a dancer. I'm far from that." And they're like, "Oh no, no, no! We're changing the whole format of the show to become something like AGT." So basically, they changed the whole format to make it a talent show. So there were magicians, dancers, drummers, and I was the only one with basically a variety act, you know. And
Nice.
so yeah, because they only selected 20 participants. They only selected 20 for the show,
Okay.
and I was one of them, of which I'm very grateful for. But there is something very, I wouldn't say it's funny now, but at that time it shocked me. Because here's the thing. Now, we know AGT, there are 4 stages, right? I mean, there's basically the audition, the semifinals, the finals, and the result show. Because, I mean, the result show, you still have to perform. There's
Right.
4 stages. And for someone who does numbers like me, I need to regulate. I mean, basically, I can't perform everything. I need to do things which the general audience would understand, you know? You know, like what I do. I do like the normal addition, subtractions, make it more fun, make it I just modify all those things, you know. Like you remember the addition, I just keep on adding and adding and adding and adding.
You know what,
These
Yashwin? I think we
Yes.
need at some point. You're gonna show us, right?
yeah, sure, why not?
I think because some of our listeners or watchers, they're hearing about these competitions that you've done well in, but at some point we're gonna have to see exactly what it is, so the people who haven't seen you before get to see the magic. So
Sure,
okay,
why not?
tell us. We'll get to that after this, but tell us about this show.
So what I've been doing all this while is that doing things which the general audience understands, nothing too advanced, so that people enjoy it, right? Now, I accepted the show. I was the last participant. Basically, I was the last one to seal the deal. We sealed the deal, me and my dad sealed the deal. I mean, we basically agreed to the show one day before the press conference. Now imagine that. So like, I mean,
Wow.
everyone else was informed like, 2 months earlier, 3 months earlier, and I accepted the offer a day before the press conference. So because I accepted it like at the last minute, I had no idea how the show actually worked, the structure of the show. You know, I didn't know how many stages there are, whatever. But in my mind, I was thinking it's the exact same as AGT. There's
Right,
going
of
to be
course.
an audition. There's going to be the semis. There's going to be the finals. You know, basic, right? I mean, that's how almost. So I thought that was the structure of the show, and so I had everything planned out. This is what I'm going to do if I make it. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. Now, to my surprise, I finished the first episode. The first episode was basically the elimination round. So from 20 participants, it went down to 10 participants. So I did that. It went
That's a
well.
big cut.
Nice, right? And then I got a text message from the crew members. And you know what it said? They told me to give me the layout for my performance for the next 7 weeks. So literally 7 weeks. And I was asking them, what do you mean 7 weeks? Isn't the next supposed to be like the semi-finals or something? And they were like, oh, no, not at all. This show has 8 stages. You have to go through 8 different stages. And that's when my jaw just dropped because I'm thinking to myself, what am I supposed to do for 8 different stages? Like you
That's a
see
lot of
the whole
acts.
change from 4
Yeah.
to 8, and I'm thinking to myself, oh Lord, what do I do? And so, okay, I did the second one. I had to, just arrange here and there, and everything went well. And that's when I told myself, okay, you know what? I need to explore more. I need to learn more new tricks. I need to do more things so that it's not redundant, it's not repetitive. And I mean, I got eliminated at the 6th stage, but all in all, it was a great experience. But there were some challenges because starting from the 4th week, the 4th, 5th, and 6th episode, I just had to do it online. And can you imagine doing it online?
That's
We
weird.
had no audience. It's just 3 judges
Weird.
staring.
Yeah.
It's just 3 judges staring at me through a screen, watching what I do. There's no audience whatsoever. It's like so quiet, and I had to do 3 performances online. So for me, I think that really affected
Yeah, because
my
part of
performance
the
there.
appeal of your performance is your interaction with the audience. Like you're very good at that, and that
Thank
makes
you,
it
man.
funny.
Yes. Thank
Of
you.
course.
Thank you. Thank you, Justin. Exactly. So it's about the interaction. I want to make it as real as possible, but I
Yeah.
couldn't because it's just
Well,
online. I was staring at a camera. That's it. In my mind,
well,
I'm
not
just
to
staring at
mention, a lot of people also doubt mathematical problems and mathematical feats of grandeur, right? They're like, oh, is he looking at a screen here or that? When you see someone do it in front of people right there in his head, you see exactly what's happening, and you have less
exactly.
doubt. So they really took your
And actually
main
faced
thing
because
away.
it was the final week before I left. I did a really complicated. It's not complicated. It's a rather challenging uh, attempt. Actually, it was my first time doing it, and literally at the end of the performance, one of the judges, because I was just staring at the screen, doing the thing, and one of the judges was like, can he really do this? Is he really doing this? Is he really authentic? And
Yeah.
I'm like, so I had to prove to him that he was right. I mean, in the end, he did believe me because I proved to him that I was authentic. But yeah, the thing I couldn't get from the very few stages was the human interaction. So yeah, that's one show I did this year. And
Yashwin, quick question. You said you had to
yes,
learn some new things, right? And so
yeah.
from what we've seen, what kind of new stuff have we not seen? Like, what kind of new stuff did you add? I mean, so you made it to episode 6, which means you had to have like what, 4, 5, maybe 6 different performances lined up. So what new stuff
No.
did you learn or do?
So do you want me to explain what I actually did? So here's the thing. Okay, very simply put.
Can you
The
do it
first
first?
yeah, let me show you. But so like the first episode was where was I? The first episode was the exact same as the judges audition of AGT because that one was memorable. So I was like,
Right.
I'm gonna do that. That's the signature. The second episode was the calendar trick. Remember how I could guess the dates, the day of the week, but I extended my abilities, as in I can now do dates from like the 1700s. So like from the 1700s up to like the 2100s, 22. So I made the next episode all about dates. Like literally the whole performance was just about the dates, going back and forth, going through many different centuries. The third one which I did, now this one is really interesting, but the problem is if I wouldn't say it's basically only requires it can only work for certain numbers, It's basically guessing the missing digit. Do you want to try that now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
How do we do
Okay.
this?
Now the thing is,
What do we need? What kind of equipment? Prepare us.
I mean, I'm
excited.
As always, all you need is a calculator. That's it.
Okay, I can get one of those up.
You're on. Are you on it?
I'm looking for it.
Should we both do it?
Yes.
All
Because
right.
I don't trust either of us, so let's both do it.
I don't trust anyone
now,
but Yashwin on this podcast.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's only specific numbers which you can use. 3-digit numbers, only specific type of numbers which work for the trick. So why don't Justin, can you just give me a 3-digit number and just give me a random 3-digit number?
248.
It's a good one.
200.
That's a good one.
Okay, no, here's the thing. The specific numbers. You can we go with 252?
Sure. 252.
Right, 252. Now here's what I want you guys to do. You have 252 with you right now, right? I want you to multiply that number, and don't tell me, multiply that number with any random 4 digits that you like. Don't tell me the 4 digits.
Both of us should do this separately.
Okay.
You can do it separately. I'll ask Alan first, then I'll ask Justin.
Okay.
So 4 digits, for example, 3793. Any 4 digits from 1000 up till 9999. Don't tell me the 4 digits.
Okay.
Now can you hit the hit the equal button? Don't tell me the answer. Hit the equal button. Okay. Alan, I'm assuming if you did it right, your answer should be either 6 digits or 7 digits. How many digits do you have?
7 digits.
Okay, good. You have 7 digits, right? Here's what I want you to do. You have 7 digits, right?
Yes.
I want you to only just tell me, cover, as in remove a digit and just tell me 6 digits that you have. But make it more challenging. Here's what you do. So for example, you have 7 digits, right?
Yeah.
You take out the digit and you tell me the remaining 6. I will guess the digit you took out. But you do not have to tell me in a sequence. So you can literally tell me the 7th digit first, then the 3rd digit, then the 5th digit, then the 1st digit, whichever
Okay.
order you like.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
you can tell it in whichever order you like, and I will guess the missing digit that you remove.
Okay. YAASHWIN, real quick, not that's gonna matter, but real quick, turn your head facing the wall, and I'm just gonna show the camera what my number
No,
is.
you see, this is the
Okay,
thing.
This is for the audience. This is for the audience to
This
know
is
what
for the
my number
audience.
is.
Okay,
I'm not making
okay,
it.
fine.
So that
Wait, you want
I'm
me
not
to turn
faking it.
backwards?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
turn
face the
backwards.
wall.
Like if your back is facing the camera or the back of your head, yeah, you can't see this for sure.
Yeah,
you can't.
okay. Now tell me the 6 digits.
No, I'm not. Okay, so I'm just gonna show to the
Okay,
camera, and then
yeah,
I'm gonna
we got
pull
it.
back, and I'm gonna read it back. Okay. So I can read any 6 of these digits, skip one of them, and I can read them in any order I want to.
Yes,
All right,
exactly.
I'll do it while we look at it together.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. 2, 6, 5, 9, 1, 5.
Can I turn around now?
Yeah.
You left out the digit number 8, didn't you?
What? How did you know that? Yes, it's the 8 right in the middle. Also, it's the easiest for me to remember that I left it out. But that's
Okay,
crazy.
I'll turn around again. Justin, your turn. Tell me, Justin, before that, sorry. Justin, before that, do you have 6 digits or 7 digits?
I have 6.
Okay, you have 6 digits. You just tell me 5 and take out and remove 1.
Okay.
And he doesn't need to know what 4-digit number we use to multiply with?
And I can say these in any order.
Yes.
Okay.
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 Yeah, I see it.
And by the way, Justin, Justin.
Say
Justin,
turn around.
Justin.
Yeah.
To make it more challenging, can you just go rapidly fast? Like,
Okay. 86755.
Did you leave out, can I turn around?
Sure.
Yeah.
Did you leave out the number 5?
No, I left out the number 7.
Huh? Really? Can you repeat the digits again?
I said 86755.
86755.
Yes.
Can I look at the number?
So we're doing 852 times something, right?
Did you multiply
252.
252? No way.
252.
Oh shit! Okay, that would be part of the
Because you
problem.
said 240. That'll do
Not
it.
my fault.
I
Not my fault.
knew it was Justin's fault.
252.
252. Oh.
Not my fault. Thank you very much.
I'm very tired. okay, it's 252.
252 multiplied with any 4-digit number.
84 digits. Okay, here we go.
So do you have 6 or 7 digits? I mean, if it's 7,
So
leave out one.
the answer has 6 digits.
Okay.
Okay, got it.
All right, so 31968.
Did you leave out the number 9 or 0?
0.
0.
Thank you very much.
You're
That
done.
is-
My mind cannot even begin to wrap around what it was that you possibly just did.
It's the magic of numbers. That is why I love it so much.
Here's a question. Are you better at math now than you were when you were on Asia's Got Talent?
I mean, specifically talking about performance-wise, I think I'm able to do more than what I did in Asia's Got Talent because I think, like I've said, with this new show and all, I've extended the number of different things I'm able to do.
In some ways, I look at what you do as it's like a magic trick in some ways, right? Because you have a specific way of deriving this answer that we don't know about. And it seems as if you were able to just conjure this almost impossible feat or conjure this trick, right? That it seems impossible. But I know because you always say it's the magic of math, which I think is a cool way of talking about it. Like, but there is a way that it's possible, right? And I want to. How do you feel? Do you feel like a magician where you wouldn't want to reveal your secrets, or do you feel like as a mathematician, you're like, this is how it's done? Like, it's certain possibilities. I memorize a certain amount of this. A certain amount is like in the moment calculation. A certain amount. Like, how do you feel about it? I guess is my question.
First of all, man, I just want to say thank you because I have been to numerous interviews, and I don't think I've ever got a question this intellectual before. So
Really?
first of all,
Thank you.
Wow,
thank you,
Alan.
Flattery.
thank
Wow.
you
And
so
Alan would
much.
Alan would like to thank you back because
Yeah.
he's never been referred to as an intellectual. So this is
Never.
Oh, he is definitely.
Never.
So,
No. This is like accidentally finding a pot of gold.
so
So tell me, how do you feel?
at the end of the day, regardless whatever I've done on the show, whether if it's calendars or the really quick edition or just guessing this digit right now, at the end of the day, regardless what I do, it's all the way or the rules of how numbers work.
Mhm.
It's as simple as that. If you know how to learn and how to apply the knowledge that you have, you are able to do this. However, like always, good things take time. So, I mean, definitely what you need is time to practice and to actually put, initiative in order to learn it, because I have uploaded a course teaching how to actually the basics of mental arithmetic, how to actually do it, because it's just a basic,
Mhm.
an introduction. But I've had people, there are numerous people who have registered for the course, but one thing I'm not sure of is whether they actually take use of it, as in whether they're actually learning it or not.
Mhm.
So, like you said, Alan, if you were if you were comparing to a magician wouldn't reveal. Literally, I asked Eric last year, how do you do this? He didn't teach me anything.
Yeah, you
Like I
won't.
remember, yeah, Eric was like, oh no, you can't reveal this. It's magic, and I understand, because it's something not
Mhm.
everyone is able to do, and you really need time because it's your own special thing. But what I do, I would definitely be more than happy to share people the knowledge if they're willing to learn. So basically, that's it. All you need is the will to learn, the initiative, and you can.
Probably also have to be pretty mentally sound.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You got to be able to pull off those
So
definitely.
quick number tricks.
so you were talking about how you're going to school. Like, are you going to math class?
What
No.
which class? You mean the
Like-
one which I'm doing right now?
No,
What
I
I'm
mean,
doing
like,
right
do
now?
you go to you go to school right now, right? So what kind of school are you
Yes.
going to?
A normal high school.
But okay, do you go to a normal math class?
Yes, of course.
What
Because
math are you studying? What math are you studying right now? Are you
look,
trig, geometry,
the
calculus?
the thing
Recount.
which I do is completely the mental math which I'm doing is, I'm not saying that it's something that's closely related to the curriculum, but it's something, honestly, I do it for my own entertainment, because like I said, from the very beginning, all I've wanted to do is connect with people. I understand that I don't have the best voice in the world, or I may not have the best movements, but I have this ability, and I tell myself I can do something with this. I'm not just going to let it, sit there and not do anything. I can connect with people through this. So that's what I do. So if you ask me about my math class at school, it's something completely different. I view it as something
Right.
completely different.
So I
Something
guess
completely
my question is do you learn anything in your math class at school? Like, is there stuff that you're being taught? It's new?
There's so much to be learned, my friend. There is so much to be learned. There's always something that you can learn, regardless how good your ability is. There is always
Right.
something you can learn. Knowledge is infinite.
So
Knowledge is
Yashwin,
infinite.
how old are you again? Can we just remind or let
I'm
our listeners
16.
know? You're 16 right now, and he's talking to us like he's our sensei.
I know.
No, thank you.
Like a young Padawan, Justin, you shall learn in time.
Everybody,
Right.
there's always new things to learn. I guess for me, I think when people watch you and they see your show and they see how quickly you're able to figure all these things out with your numbers, I think it would be hard for them to believe that you could just go to a normal math class and still like be learning other things there. But I guess as you were saying, like, it's kind of a different thing.
It's a whole different thing,
Right.
man. It's a whole different thing. Yeah, you can apply like what I do, okay, for example, very simply, what advantage I have is that because I can do these calculations in my head, I can solve questions quicker, right? So, especially in examinations where people find they don't have enough time to do the thing, I'm able to, okay, for example, a very simple example, I study accounts, right? I study accounts. I'm doing accounting.
That makes sense to me.
That makes sense,
Yeah.
exactly.
Would you like to handle my accounts,
Yeah, I
Yashwin?
knew you would say that. I knew you would say that. Now, yeah, it's interesting. So, I mean, an advantage I have is that I can just do all the working straight away, right? That's the advantage I have. So I save more time, I save more energy, and at the same time, it's the passion that matters. I love what I'm doing. I'm combining two things I love into one, right? So that's the plus point there. So that's why I say it's something which I view completely differently. They're two different entities, basically.
I want to change it up real quick, Yashwin, and ask you a slightly different question, but still in like the idea of high school class and math class or any high school class, right? And we're going to go back in time to when the season was airing. And I'm not sure, I don't remember what time of the year that was, but you were a 14-year-old in high school, correct? When you were on this show. 15-year-old, yeah, 15. Yeah. Okay. So you're a social person anyway, but I'm curious as to what high school was like before you were on Asia's Got Talent and after you were at, maybe it was not different at all. And like, you know, you were so social and had all the friends anyway, but what did life change in your high school itself? Like with people you knew, or maybe with, so I don't know, attention from people?
I think this question would really apply if you compare primary school instead, because let me tell you one thing. When I was in primary school, right? So before entering secondary school, I was the kind of person who would just separate from everyone else. That was me, because at that time I wouldn't talk to many people. Many people actually wouldn't talk to me. So, you know, in the end, I just end up being I wouldn't say alone, but you know, I prefer being with my own, on my own, with my own thoughts. You know, I was also like up until I was, I don't know, 11, 12. And then after going to high school, I guess things got a little better. I've met better friends, great teachers. So that's how the environment started to change. So technically, my life in high school, even before AGT, after AGT, I don't see much of a difference. The difference is that yes, you get more support, more attention, but the environment as a whole, I honestly don't think it was much of a difference. But if I were to compare primary school and my high school after AGT, that would have been a drastic difference. That would have been major difference. So
you said that you were getting more attention though up from the show, because people knew you were on the show, right? Like they had seen you on TV or the internet. Would they approach you in the hallways and be like, you know, good job, Yashwin, or like, you know, math is cool, or like
I'm voting for you.
Yeah, like did that happen?
Yeah, they do. What I would do is that like they know my show would air at this time and this time, so they'd be like, why don't you, I mean, tell people it's gonna air and all these things, and they would be spreading it. I think it was more powerful, especially on social media. You know, they have WhatsApp groups and Instagram and Twitter and so on. I think it really boomed there because everything came from there. I mean, I don't think I mean, of course, it was like released on YouTube and everything, right? So one person saw it, shared it, and it went and went round, and eventually, yeah, I got the full attention required.
Did you enjoy that? Did you enjoy the attention?
Who wouldn't enjoy it? Literally, who wouldn't enjoy it? So yeah, definitely.
You mentioned on the show that you mentioned math is sexy. You know, that was one of the things that I think you said that at one point, or at least I think we did, Alan.
Keep going this direction, Justin. Yeah, I wanted to go this direction anyway. Go ahead.
Has the other people your age, have you convinced them that math is sexy?
I have. I think. Allow me to fully digest this now. Okay, here's the thing. Very simply put.
This question's harder than a math problem.
Justin, exactly. He's 16. Don't forget he's 16.
You know what's the one thing this thing really taught me? The whole show taught me as a whole. I think what it really taught me, the best lesson which I learned from the whole experience, was that regardless of who you are and what you do, I think the most important thing is that you must never doubt your abilities. you should never look down on what you're able to do. So from the whole, what I realized is that from the whole experience, I don't think people actually, yeah, people enjoy the performance. I enjoy doing it, but the lesson which I felt like was the most valuable one was that people really understood, like, wow, if you want to do it, you can do it. Because literally wherever I went, that's the thing I told people, regardless of who you are, whatever you do, go for it. Life's just once, there's no rewind button. You don't do it, it's just going to end up in regrets, right? It's just going to be a pit of regrets. So I may not have convinced them that numbers are the most fun thing, but I believe I convinced them that if you want to do it, you go for it. That's what I think I did the best, and I truly enjoy it thanks to the show.
You know what else you'd be good at? You'd either be a good public relations guy or a good politician.
You would be a good politician.
You're very diplomatic, and you know how to weave yourself around a question.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I was trying to divert. I was like, okay,
I can see that. It's very obvious.
I'm going to be professional. I want to be professional.
It works. I forgot what the original question was.
You answered the original question in your eyes.
Boom. Thank you very much. Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
So YAASHWIN, what's next for you? What do you want to, so you said you want to do accounting, right? Do you have any more performance type stuff you want to do? Are you looking to continue that direction?
Honestly, to be frank with you, I had so many plans this year. I had so many interesting things I wanted to execute, but a virus just had to come along the way. So, I think, you know what I'm focusing on more now? Like I said, I did the course, and I'm actually working on a book, right? Actually, the book was supposed to be released early of March this year, but they had to postpone everything and the course, and I had the dream of wanting to open my own learning center this year to teach people. So looking at my plans, if I were to actually overview and look at what I had planned this year, what I was trying to achieve was that I wanted to teach people this year. So less focusing on performing, more towards giving the education. Because one thing I realized from the show, even if I saw the YouTube comments and the Instagram comments and what people say in social media, I see a lot of people having the interest of wanting to learn. Especially, of course, the obvious one is parents who want to teach their child how to do it, right? So I realized there was the demand for, what do you say demand? I would say the interest for people. Most of them wanted to learn, like, how do we actually do it? Like, we want to do it too. It would be, because along with this skill comes many other benefits, memory skills, confidence, so on and so forth. So I realized many people wanted to learn. So my plans this year and for the future is to allow more people to have access to learning this skill. So that's what I'm focusing on.
16, Alan. This guy's 16 years old.
Yeah, I was just wrapping my head around that. YAASHWIN, you're a very impressive young man.
Thank you very much.
First of all, you've always spoken years beyond your age, but also the fact that you're not just, running around figuring out how to try to kiss a girl, which is probably what I was doing at your age, or running around figuring out how to talk to a girl, or even just be myself. You're so comfortable.
I was so much more of a douchebag when I was 16. Like I was just.
Wait. More of a douchebag than YAASHWIN is.
Oh no, YAASHWIN's not a douchebag at all. Let me rephrase that.
More than you are now.
I was a douchebag. No. I was when I was 16. I made good grades in high school. But I was playing soccer. Concerned about a little bit concerned about girls. Mostly playing soccer. To be honest, I didn't really get into worried about girls until I was 18. To be honest, so 16, I was more worried about actually school and playing soccer. That's all I was doing. And then I was just doing stupid stuff with my friends, like driving around in the car and who knows, like putting pumpkins in people's yards. That's what I did. Yeah. Really useful.
Yeah. Just rugby and and Nerf guns and roller hockey and girls.
Honestly, you guys need to really, I mean, you guys turned out to be such great hosts. Let's all agree on that.
Thank you.
Such great hosts.
We had to learn how to
And I think
BS
it's
from a
all-
very young age. Yeah,
That's-
Yashin, where does your eloquence come from? Your talkative nature is your actually. You know what? I actually have met your parents, and you're both your parents are charmers. But did you always talk when you were a kid? Were you one of those young kids who was just talking to adults all the time, precociously?
No, like I said, no, I was the kind of person who just deviate from talking. Like I would just be like, never mind. I'm just gonna do my own work. So I guess it was up until
The switch was that quick from what you said from primary school to secondary school.
I have no idea how. Even I'm thinking, what happened? I have no idea how that happened.
What
But
kind
it
of
just
media
happened,
What kind of media were you consuming? Like, what kind of TV
Good
shows were you
question.
watching? What kind of films? What kind of music? Or what kind of books were you reading?
Me at the time, okay, books, storybooks. I don't read any other books other than storybooks I read today. Yeah, that's how childish I am. I don't read novels. I don't read nothing. Just storybooks.
Storybooks. What do you mean storybooks?
Random children's storybooks.
You read children's storybooks.
Yes. Yes. Don't judge me. Yes. Yes. yes.
You are so confusing.
Justin, he's a child though. He's still 16.
Okay. What kind of
I've never been interested by I mean, I don't understand how people are even able to read novels and I don't know, all those really thick, like I need pictures in my books. That's me. I'm the kind of person who needs pictures in the books in order to for it to be fun. So yeah, I know exactly. You see, after Justin, I mean, I'm thinking to myself, wow, I am really confusing. What is it that I really like? So I'm gonna just go with the flow.
Did you watch a lot of movies when you were younger? Like a lot of English movies in English, or?
Are you talking previously or now? I'm more
as a kid. Like I'm trying to figure out how you got to be so eloquent in your speech at such a young age.
Okay. I used to watch I mean, of course, when I talk about primary or when I was a child, I mean, it's obvious. I mean, this is not a surprise. I would watch a lot of animation movies. Yeah, that's it. Like literally, it's just animation movies.
Yeah, that's not
winning here, Justin.
That's not. Yeah.
There's no answer. Yeah. There's no answer here.
Animation,
that's what it is.
But now I am more. I 95% of the movies I watch are all comedy. So I'm comedy. It's all just comedy.
Yeah.
So it's 95% comedy, and the shows I watch are mostly sitcoms. So yeah.
So you were talking about kind of your plans for 2020 and how they got derailed because of everything that's going on in the world. What is it that you want to achieve for 2021? Because it's coming soon, and I think it's probably safe to say that vaccines are going to get rolled out in a pretty timely manner once the beginning of the year starts. I imagine it globally, and hopefully by the end of 2021 or by the first half of it, certain levels of normalcy will start to be reinstated in most places in the world. So what are your plans? How are you going to take advantage of this?
The first thing I'm really hoping for something, the one which I'm really hoping for is the book. Like I want the book to be launched. I want it to be published. I want people to be able to learn along, because like I said, I wanted to open the learning center, but with enterprise comes a lot of other risks. You need to know how to manage finances, and I'm going to school, and I have to be focusing on my studies and literally teaching the people. Like I know, look at Alan, he's like,
I need to manage my finances, and I'm like a decade out of school, more than a decade out of school.
Yeah, I'm talking about the enterprise finance.
I'm just joking, Meg. Please continue.
I get stressed out telling my accountant to manage my finances. Like that is already. I'm like, oh, I got to message the accountant. I don't know if I can handle this today. I'm gonna go take a nap.
Yeah. So, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna put that aside until I'm fully done with my schooling life. Yeah, okay. Once I'm done with that, and that's where I just want to really be like, okay, let's do something that will allow. Basically, like I said, what I want is that I want to give access to people to be able to learn this.
Okay.
That's what I want, because personal experience, I have been going to classes since I was 7, way up until I was 13. 6 years, I've been basically repeating the same thing again and again
Right.
and again. 6 years I've been doing that. So I don't want people to experience the same thing because I would say a number of people actually go for these classes, but they end up stopping or giving up because they feel it's repetitive. It's the same thing again and again and again. So I want to give access to make it fun. And like the book, okay, the book I'm talking about, for your information, although it's a book on math, basically, it's basically a comic. Me and my publishing, the team, we transformed the whole book. It's not published yet, by the way. We transformed the whole book into a comic. So it's basically a comic teaching numbers. So it's not a boring book, So when
awesome.
That is super cool.
So it's something that would really appeal to kids because it's funny, it's colorful, and it's something that honestly, if you gave it to the 7-year-old me, I would have been more enthusiastic to learn. Because when I started classes at that age, I was like, why am I doing this? Because I really wanted to stop, but I don't know, something just told me, you know what, just do it.
Here's a question.
I don't know.
Was there kind of a moment as you were growing, as you were growing up, you're still growing up, was there a moment when you were younger at school or maybe doing some math homework where all of a sudden you just kind of realized that you're like, oh damn, I'm really good at this. I'm better at this than everybody else? Or did somebody kind of have to tell you that you had that ability? Like how did that work?
Okay, during my time where I went for these classes to actually learn this math thing, now during those classes, I sort of realized on my own that I had an added advantage compared to everyone else, because everyone else were literally just questioning me at that time, like, are you really eating calculators or something? Is there like a scanner in your brain? Like, what is it that you're doing? So during those classes, I realized on my own that basically people kind of told me that, you know what, you have something, you can do something with it. Now, when I made the switch from actually doing the work to becoming more of an entertaining, more performing on stage. Now that I had to realize a lot, because basically what happened was that when I told my friends that, I remember very vividly before I auditioned for AGT, before I went for the open auditions in KL, I told just one of my friends, I said, I'm going to audition for the show. What do you think? And the immediate response I got from my friend, that guy, was that he was like, I don't think it's going to work out because his numbers and it's not fun. People are not going to enjoy it. How do you expect people to be, entertained by numbers? And that one, I realized on my own, I told myself that I can make it fun. I can make it entertaining. I don't know how, but I will. And he was thinking, you're just doing math, you're just doing numbers, how people are going to have fun? But now that when it comes to the performing part, I'd say I realized on my own. I was like, I have communication skills, I can speak in front of a huge audience, I am very spontaneous. I'm not a person who follows scripts. Like, all our AGT performances, I don't think it was scripted. We just went with the flow, didn't we? We were just going with the flow. Like, whatever happens, just happens. I'm not that kind of person. So I was like, I think I can do it. People told me that you shouldn't, but I was like, no, I can.
Justin's not that kind of person either.
I'm with you.
Doesn't like to be on scripts. He's not
Take
a
those
scripted
scripts
guy.
The scripts are so restrictive. You're like, you just have to follow that whatever's printed, right?
I love scripts. I'm a scripted guy. I'm all about my scripts. Script them up. Just write them, dite them.
But you're also ready to go off script when need be.
Yeah, you have to be. You have to be. And I think, YAASHWIN, I remember specifically that our director, producer, AD, who's awesome, who we'd work with, because, we have to be prepared to be able to communicate and go back and forth with whoever comes on stage, right? And we always want it to be the most entertaining, dynamic thing possible. And we always remember our director would be like, hey, YAASHWIN's gonna be fine. Just go out there and ask him some questions. It's gonna go great.
Nobody was ever worried about you.
No preparation, just go talk to YAASHWIN. So it works.
Nice. Yeah, it's the magic that happens on stage. This thing I realized, because even before stepping on stage, my mind will be like, you're gonna make mistakes. What if mistake happens? What if things go wrong? but I have no idea how the moment when I step on the stage and actually start doing the actual work, it's like you can just forget all those troubles, you forget about the mistakes the mistakes you're going to make, you forget about things going wrong. It's just like, magic. And that is why I love performing so much. And I am thankful I made the switch from just sitting in boring classes to actually connecting with people. I am so grateful I made the switch.
You miss that stage, don't you?
Who doesn't miss the stage?
I know, me too.
Well, yeah, we missed that stage real
like,
bad.
Literally, I'm curious. Like, because the only thing we have now is social media.
Alan loves social media.
I hate social media.
You hate social media?
Hate social media, Yashwin. I hate it.
How can someone hate social media?
Very easily. Very easily. We're a different generation, Yashwin. And and I don't know why Justin's in your side of the camp.
I would prefer not. I would prefer not to have to do it, but I don't mind doing it. I would prefer not to have to be on it so much. If it'd be nice.
So the only thing we have now is social media, right? So the only thing I'm able to see is that, for example, if I went to Eric's story, I can see what Eric's doing, his performances around the world. I go to Shadow Ace. Who doesn't remember Shadow Ace?
Everybody remembers Shadow Ace.
I remember Shadow Ace. I think about him every day.
Yeah, so we're all just doing our, local shows and whatever offers we have. And, imagine how nice it would be if all of us would get together, meet face to face, and actually do something again. Yeah. So, and that's the part of the performing the stage I miss. Because you can have a stage, but imagine if there's no one to watch you. Imagine if there's nothing and it's just the stage and you're left to your own thoughts. But imagine everyone. Remember the results show performance where everyone was there? Like that, that is something I would die for. That is amazing.
We should do it. Justin, we should do it on this podcast. Well, let's get Yashwin. Let's get a bunch of them and I'll have them do a performance right here. You want to do that, Yashwin?
I'm up for it. Yeah, sure, why not? As long as there's no doubts.
That was a lukewarm response. That was not as excited. I was hoping for really excited.
I think his question, I can see what was going on in his mind, because it was the same thing going on in my mind, which was, okay, what are the logistics of that? And how does that work? And what does that
Doesn't matter. I'm a dreamer. Yeah. Who cares? We just people that film their own faith. Yeah.
I'm in. I'm in.
So that's honestly the part of the stage which I miss. All of us being here, because it's a talent show. We cannot evaluate who's better than the other, because I'm doing numbers, he's a singer. You can't directly compare me with that individual. So it's that differences which we have which creates our diversity at the end of the day. So that is the part of the show which I until today really miss. Literally, I swear, at least every week, once a week, until today, it's gonna be almost 2 years. I think about the show literally every week. Oh. It's something that I will never be able to let go of, regardless of what I do, because it's amazing. It's simple as that. It's amazing. It's diverse. It's unique. It's full of culture. It's everything. We are able to set aside our differences, although it is a competition, right? It is a competition, but we are still able to unite as one. So yeah.
Yashwin, you're making me emotional.
Do you have any kind of final thoughts or some sort of closing statement that you want to throw out there before we let you go?
Well, let me think.
Okay.
Take your time.
It's most of it. Most of the hugest challenge we have right now is the pandemic. Now, I have none of us have any idea when it's gonna end, how it's gonna end, how our lives will be. Will we even be able to, how long will it take to actually recover the whole thing? But I guess regardless of the situation, the important thing is that we should remember that we have support. We have support. We all have each other. And the most important thing is to stay strong. Stay strong. Keep going. That's life. Life moves on. We move on. That's the thing.
16
years old. YAASHWIN Sarawanan, everybody.
You guys gotta come to realize that 16 doesn't last forever, man. There's gonna be
You're going to be 17
So you know what?
very
Yeah.
soon.
Might as well.
And then after that,
Yeah,
18. You'll never be 16 again. Soak it up.
exactly.
Are we
Yashwin,
podcasting
thank
yet?
you so much, man. I don't know.
Hey there, guys. Thanks for watching Are We Podcasting Yet? If you want to see Alan and I do the next podcast in cowboy hats, like and subscribe. No?
Wait, what?
Like cowboy hats. You have access to a cowboy
Okay,
hat,
like
right?
and subscribe.
Like and
Sure.
subscribe.